Okay, we're back on the truck doors. I flipped the doors over. I want to paint these inner panels white, and I taped them out, and we'll see a problem on this one. This is what it's supposed to be like. So the paint's drying on there. On this one, I ran into a problem, and I tested this one. It seems okay. When I was putting the 1/4-inch tape on it to define that line, I lifted it up several times, and then the last time I lifted, it lifted the paint on this seam. It didn't lift all the paint. I think what happens where I've mixed this blue and the silver, I think the metal flake is heavier, and as it dries, the metal flake goes down and the blue stays on top. Because underneath this was like bright silver when it came up, so it just took the blue off, but this paint's mixed, so I think it kind of separates as it settles. So it may not be the greatest thing to mix these two colors together, the aluminum and the any other color you'd mix with it. But for this truck, I want it to look old when I get done. I'm going to patina it anyway, but I don't want a big silver stripe right there. So I've got that sanded, blended back down, so I'm going to try to blend that in and let that dry again, and hopefully it'll be okay. And hopefully I'm going to pull this tape off in about 10 more minutes or less, and hopefully I don't get any pulling on that. I may end up with a problem here. I don't know. But okay, that panel came out good on this door. I got clean lines. It didn't peel any of the paint, so it's good. I got a little gnat that got in it that I had to dig out and do that, and then the paper touched a little bit, and that's why that spot's still shiny there. But overall, it looks good. I like the panel. So this side is done. This door's done. Just needs to dry. And now I'm going to try to blend this paint in here, and then let this dry for several days or a week, and then I'll get this panel in there. Okay, I got some paint mixed up here to try to touch up our door, so that's ready to go. I'm just going to try to blend it in. And I learned on the truck before, when I have the blue already on it and black, it seemed to be very hard to cover, so we'll just see how it goes. Again, I'm not trying to make it perfect, but it's just one of those things that happens. So try to get this blended in, and hopefully we'll be good. Okay, I got the new paint blended in. It went pretty well. Can't really tell. You can see a little bit of the old tape line there, but no big deal. So hopefully, I'm going to let this dry for at least a week before I try to do that, to try to match the other side. So hopefully I don't have the problem. If I do, I'm just going to live with it next time. I'll just kind of make it look like it's worn that way. So anyway, next thing I'm going to work on is the hinges. A couple of them need some new pins put in them, and I got started on one. It's a little bit harder than it looks. I just have to drive that pin out through there, but it's rusted really bad. So I tried the PB blaster, and I tried heating it, getting it really hot. So this one I'll be working on next, trying to get at least this one fixed. This one had quite a bit of play in it. The other ones aren't too bad, but I want to do one to see how hard it is for the rest. So we'll keep working on this hinge until we get it finished, and then we'll get all the hinges done, and then we'll get the doors hung. Okay, we're going to take a quick break from working on the truck and do one of my special projects I do from time to time. This is a tail piece off a vintage Gibson guitar I've sold to a friend of mine. This end piece here that holds this part on, which the strings go through, then it wraps around the body, and then it goes there. It's supposed to hook over the edge right there and hold that piece on, but you can see it broke off. And the reproduction of these aren't quite the same, so you kind of can't get this piece, and it's very expensive on eBay. So he asked me if I could try to make one. I don't have the ability to chrome things, but I do have stainless steel, so what I've been working on is making a copy of it, which I'll polish when it's done. I think it's going to be pretty close. I'm starting to grind it out. You can see where it's marked. The hardest part was getting all these bends right. I did all that first before I started shaping it, because that's the most crucial part. And it does fit so far perfectly on there. But I didn't know if it was going to come out at first, so I didn't film anything. So I'll go back and show you how I got to this point, how I got all these bends in this piece. But it looks like it's going to work. I'm having to use 4 or 5 power readers to get in there so I can see, because my vision's not so good. But I think it's going to work out. But let's go over to the press, and I'll show you how I got these shapes into it. Okay, the first thing I did, I cut just a square out. And to get this first bend, I just put that on the brake, and that got me this very first bend right there with my thumb. But then, if you can kind of see, it's kind of got like a W or an M shape on the profile. So to get that, I went and made this piece. I had a piece of channel and I had to squeeze it in to get the distance right. But I just made that and it goes in the press there. So I formed, hard to do with one hand, I stuck this down over top of this, hard to do with one hand, like that. So it lined up with the grooves, and I pressed that down into the wood. And when it did that, it basically created that shape. It pushed those two grooves into it, and it humped up a little bit in the middle where the wood was. And the hump in the center wasn't quite high enough. So what I had to then do, I took this piece of round, and I cut a flat spot so it would stay on the press. And then I flipped this over, actually like this, and then I ran that in that groove, and that exaggerated that bend that's in it. So anyway, so that's how I got to this point, just the various things on the press here. Now I just need to trim it out real close around the edge. I'll use various grinders to trim it as close as possible. Then once I get that done, then I'll drill the holes. I also got to put a little arch in it this way from side to side where the bottom of the guitar is curved. That'll be easier than all this, but getting all these bends right was the hardest part. So we'll get this ground down, I'll get the holes drilled, and then we'll try to polish it, and I think it'll be done. Okay, to round this edge over further, I just had it like 90 degrees at first. I just put, you can see I put a little rod in there and clamped it to that, and then I just took a hammer and rolled the edge over so it'll go around that thing all the way. Then I'll trim it up and clean it up, but starting to come out pretty good. I got shape. I'm gonna go through and fine tune a little bit more, then I'll put the holes in it, and then we're getting close to being done. Okay, I got it cut out and drilled. I've been going over it with Brasso and a little polishing wheel on there, and I've got it pretty good now. I've got a paste on there, it's like a wax polish, so I'm going to put the new pad on it, and then I'm going to go over it again, and it should be good. It came out pretty good. You can't tell now, but it almost looks like chrome already. With this wax on it, you can't tell, but I'll go over it, polish it up, and I'll show you what the finished product looks like. Okay, I think I got it finished up. You can see this is the original one, and that's the one I made. I probably over polished it. It's more chrome than the old one, but anyway, you can see where we put it in the press. You can see all those details now. So pretty much matches. So I think it'll work. I made my holes just like one drill bit size over. That was the hardest part, but I don't have the guitar, so I don't know how they're going to line up, but hopefully the holes line up okay. And then this goes over this now. All this goes together. That clips on that. Holds that in place, and that goes around the edge. Anyway, we're good. I think it's good. I think I'm calling it. So there we go. Little side project. Now we'll get back on the truck. Okay, today I'm going to work on the rest of my hinges to get these out so the doors can go on. This one, you can hear, is really loose. That one's really bad. This one's borderline. It does move, but it doesn't rattle. So I'll go ahead and pull it. Hopefully these bolts come out. I haven't checked those. Since it's painted, I'll know exactly where it goes back to because it'll be marked when the paint comes off, or the paint's not painted behind it. On the other side, I go look at the other side. This one has a spring. When the door goes, you can see that goes back and forth. That keeps the door in position when you open it, so it stays locked. On the other side, I don't think I need to replace the hinge pin because it seems nice and tight. This side's nice and tight, it doesn't move. But to get that spring in, I do have to pull this out, unfortunately. So I will have to pull this out, even though this pin seems to be okay on this one. So anyway, let's get working on these and try to get them done. Okay, I'm gonna pull these out one at a time. I did loosen these bolts, so these bolts are good, and those bolts are out, so this side's good to go. I didn't have any problems with the bolts, so let's get them out and get them replaced. Okay, on these hinges, I had to drill the old ones out. I'm still working on getting the whole pin, and it's seized in there, so I'm having to drill through that whole piece. But it's not that bad. You just kind of step up drill sizes, and you just have to drill through this first part here. And then once you get through that, you can break that out, break this piece out from this piece. I double checked those holes, so I've got these two ready to go. I've got the new pin in there. I've got to drill this piece completely out. And then there's a set of brass washers or spacer bearings, whatever you want to call them. doing that. So right now I'm just working on getting this drilled through, and then we should be good to go. Okay, that drilled out really good. You can see that's part of the old pin right there. So I went almost right down the middle of it. Just left a little sliver there. Now I've got to drill this bushing in. I don't have to drill all the way through. I just have to drill the depth of that edge right there into each side of it. I've already tested the pin. The pin does slide in and move, so I'll just get these two bearings on each side of it, and we should be good to go. All right, looks like I went right down the center of the pin. That's the old pin, and it's practically right down the center. That's probably the most accurate I've ever been, so that came out right there. So that's good. So now I can pull this apart and drill out the center and get the new bushings in. Okay, that went really smooth actually. It went right back in there. You can see the brass fittings are still in there, so it's nice and tight. So now I'm just going to clean it up, get it ready for some paint. And then I've got to pull both of them on the driver's side. This is the passenger side. Both of them on the driver's side need replaced. I think the upper on the passenger may be okay, but I'll double check. But anyway, I'll get this one cleaned up, get this one ready for paint. Okay, on the passenger side, I'm having to get a little creative. There's 4 bolts to hold the hinges in, the 2 on the outside, and there's 2 on the inside there. There's a cage nut behind the firewall, and it's loose. The cage is gone, so I can't take both those bolts out or it'll just fall away. So I've got this longer bolt in there now at the top. I'm going to pull the bottom one out. This will keep it in place. The only thing I have to do on this side is replace this. You can't see, but there's broken spring there that goes in there. So hopefully this will give me enough clearance to pull it out. And I'll hit that. I'll be able to put the spring on, slide it back in, put the bottom bolt back in, and that'll do it. So hopefully that's going to work, if that makes sense. But I'll work on the rest of the hinges tomorrow. Right now I'll retape this door where the tape lifted it before. Cross my fingers, hopefully it works out. So we're going to go ahead and spray that so it'll match the other door. So everyone cross their fingers and hope for luck that we don't peel the paint this time. Okay, that was a success. It didn't peel the paint this time, so we're all good. So both doors are done on the inside. Now all we have left to do is the graphics on the other side. Okay, we managed to get the steering column in the truck. It was pretty simple since it was all mocked up before. Everything went pretty smoothly. It's nice and solid. It steers the truck now. The universal joints have enough clearance. It was tight, it's like right at the tolerance of clearance, but it turns smoothly. I had it up on the lift and everything works as it should. Today, I only have about a half a day to work in the garage today, so these vents that go here, the mirror and the sun visors, I'm going to start cleaning those up and get those painted today. Like I say, I have about a half a day today, so I want to do something, but I can't get too involved. But anyway, we can mark the steering column off the list and move on. Okay, for my sun visors, I got the metal parts sanded, and I put some rust prevention on it, and it's drying. These are in pretty good shape. They're dirty and ugly and stained, but right there they had a little crack, and right there you can see was the only split in it. These are really expensive to replace, so I really don't care too much about them. But to fill those, I use the 2-part seam sealer that I bought for the went around the windshield. It works pretty good. It's 2-part. It hardens up pretty good, so I just let it kind of flow down into that crack, and then it's already almost hardened now. But anyway, I'll be able to paint that. I mean, it's not perfect, but that way foam's not exposed, and it should kind of hold it together. And then, like I said, on the other side, on the bottom of this one, is the same way. Just where it's split right there, I just let it go in there to hopefully keep that from splitting further. But anyway, I'm just gonna, these are painted silver, so I'll paint this part silver, and these were white obviously, so we'll just paint those white. So, and I got the vents sanded. I put some rust prevention on those, so these will get a coat of paint. And the mirror is also ready to go. I got the rust prevention on it, so it's drying up. So this was white, so this will get white. But anyway, we're making progress. I got the glass out of the wing glass when it's there, and you can see there's rust on one side. Pretty bad, it's pretty pitted, but what I did, the other side's good there, so I traced the other side. I'm going to cut a piece of metal to match that, and I'm going to cut this piece out, and I'll cut it right along the edge there, and then I'll be able to weld that and smooth it around, and hopefully it'll never look like it was broken, or rusted, I guess. The other side's not so bad. The other side actually has a section in the straight part that I gotta do, but Okay, I got that to blend in real well. I got it welded up. Came out nice. I don't think you can even tell that it was repaired. So that's good. Now I have to do the other side, which I think is just a straight piece. But I'm happy with that. That came out good. Get it painted black and it'll be finished. Okay, on the passenger side, there's this little section right there. It's straight, so it's no big deal. I put the silver marker on it. I'm going to cut it. Cut that out, and I'll weld this one in, and the wing glasses will be fixed. Okay, that came out pretty good. So both wing glasses have been repaired now, so we're good to go. Okay, I'm getting ready to work on my sun visor clips. This just holds it when it comes over and goes in. You can see they had this rubber around it on there. I'm going to clean this off and get the rubber back on it. I got a can of plastic dip. If you've never used that before, it's just like a plastic. I'll just be able to dip this down in there and pull it back out, and it'll put a rubber coating on it, which is how they did it originally. So get these cleaned up and painted, and then we'll let them dry, and then we'll dip them. And that'll be the last of the sun visor repair. Okay, about to wrap this video up. I got the doors painted. They're ready to go in the truck. The bed's been sitting here for almost a year. It is ready to be moved into place over here on the lift. Today I'm going to move the truck out, move the bed over, and begin work on that. To wrap up everything we did in this video, there's the vents that I painted. The rear view mirror is installed. You can see the clips that hold the sun visors and the sun visors. Those all came out well, so I'm all happy with all that. So anyway, we're going to wrap this video up. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next one.